Hi, so for my author study, I chose the author Laura Numeroff. And Laura was born in Brooklyn, New York. And ever since she was a little girl, she's always loved reading stories, writing, checking books out from the library was one of her favorite things to do. So when it was time for her to go to college, she originally decided that she wanted to do fashion design, and one of her older sisters was also there. She went to the Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, and after her first year, she kind of realized, wow, fashion design just isn't for me. So she started changing things up. She started taking classes in illustration, animation, photography, and this kind of helped to shape the overall decision that she came to of deciding then to pursue a degree in communications, which she would later graduate from the Pratt Institute with a degree in communications. Her first book, Amy for Short, was published in 1975 by Macmillan, and it was actually, she got her deal for the book shortly before she graduated from college. So you kind of say, her success started right after college, but she really didn't hit that big success that she has now, best-selling books, winning awards, until she wrote the book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this book. Actually, I have it right here. And you're like, oh, that's got to be an automatic success. It wasn't. It was turned down 9 times. 9 different people turned her down, said, no, thanks, we're just going to pass. That's not really what we're looking for. Finally, on her 10th try, someone picked it up and published it, and now it's an award winner. In 2010, Michelle Obama and her 2 daughters read it at the Easter egg roll at the White House, which is a great honor for any author. And this book was also the beginning of a very popular series of the If You Give series that has produced several other books and really helped to expand her range. Fun fact is, while she's not writing award-winning books and best-selling books, she is probably watching movies. I found an interview where she said that one year she actually watched 72 movies in one single year. 365 days, 72 movies. I honestly don't know where she found the time to do that. So I have some of my favorite books by her. Some that I grew up reading. Some that were published a little bit later on, and I was above the age level. Obviously, the first one is If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. I will say, if you notice, it does have Laura Joffe Numeroff on some of her earlier books, but her later books, she is just known as Laura Numeroff. So If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, If You Give a Pig a Pancake, If You Give a Moose a Muffin, If You Give a Dog a Donut, If You Give a Pig a Party, If You Give a Mouse a Brownie, and this was actually one that I had never heard of until I started researching her again. If You Take a Mouse to the Movies, kind of has that Christmas theme. This would probably be a great book for this time of year. And then one of my other ones was If You Take a Mouse to School, which is most similar to the original If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, which is actually the book I'm going to be reading from. So it was by Laura Joffe Numeroff, illustrated by Felicia Bond, and all of her other If You Give books are also illustrated by the same author. So, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. I love the illustrations on these books. If you give a mouse a cookie, He's going to ask for a glass of milk. When you give him the milk, he'll probably ask you for a straw. When he's finished, he'll ask for a napkin. Then he'll want to look in a mirror to make sure he doesn't have a milk mustache. When he looks into the mirror, he might notice his hair needs a trim. So he'll probably ask for a pair of nail scissors. When he's finished giving himself a trim, he'll want a broom to sweep up. He'll start sweeping. He might get carried away and sweep every room in the house. He may even end up washing the floors as well. When he's done, he'll probably want to take a nap. You'll have to fix up a little box for him with a blanket and a pillow. He'll crawl in, make himself comfortable, and fluff the pillow a few times. He'll probably ask you to read him a story. So you read to him from one of your books, and he'll ask to see the pictures. When he looks at the pictures, he'll get so excited he'll want to draw one of his own. He'll ask for paper and crayons. He'll draw a picture. When the picture is finished, he'll want to sign his name. With a pen. Then he'll want to hang his picture on your refrigerator, which means he'll need Scotch tape. He'll hang up his drawing and stand back to look at it. Looking at the refrigerator will remind him that he's thirsty. So he'll ask for a glass of milk. And chances are, if he asks for a glass of milk, he's going to want a cookie to go with it. The end. So for this author, I decided to do an activity off of the main book of her series, her popular series, If You Give. So I would have students, a little fun little activity to do, is I think to create chocolate chip cookies, like are featured on the book. So we would bake the cookies, this would help with, working with numbers, working with math. You can make different shapes from the cookies and help with that part of the math. And then after, I would have them fill out an activity, either while the cookies are baking, while they're cooling, and it would be a prompt. And this is the page I made, which it will be posted. It has the prompt at the bottom, and it says, if you give me a cookie, then I'll ask for The student will then have to answer the prompt, and then I would have them use their art skills to draw a picture relating to the finished prompt. So, fun. After you're done, you get to eat cookies. Enjoy cookies. What student doesn't like that? So I really recommend Laura Numeroff and her popular series if you haven't read this book, definitely go check it out from your local library. Bye.